Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Frozen and thanks for joining me. I got a fun video today, I'm really excited about it. But first, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button. And to help me out, also click the thumbs up if you found any use in this content. All right, now most of you already know this, but for those that are new to the channel, in 2019, I had hiked the Appalachian Trail, which is a long distance journey, 2,192 miles from Georgia to Maine. I started the trail off very introverted, wanted to stay away from people, do my own thing, and somehow I ended up in a larger trail family, or Tramily, as it's more commonly known on the trail. Now, these people had a great impact in my hike and continue to make a difference in my life today. We all stay in touch, and I've had a lot of questions about just how people are doing. What did they do after the trail? What's going on in their lives? So we all got together and decided to put on a little video for you all to do just that. Now, before we get this started, the only person that we're not going to hear from today is Farmer, but I do want to let you know that we do have constant contact with Farmer. He's doing great. Currently, he is hiking the Benton-McKay Trail with Catmando. So anyway, let's get this video started with Murica. How you doing, buddy?
Hey everyone, Murica here. Since summiting Katahdin back in July of 2019, came back home, obviously, caught up with family, friends, all of that, and then because there's no rest for the weary, a month later, took over to Africa to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, which was an amazing experience. Highly recommend. Very different from the AT, but super cool experience. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. After I had done that, came back, tried to do the whole job search thing until I started working at Beach Mountain Ski Resort. So doing that over the winter, and then in February of 2020, found my dream job. I'm working for a company called Outward Bound in the mountains of North Carolina, helping to run wilderness programs. Obviously that sort of got cut short because 2020 was a heck of a year. But thankfully, after navigating the adventure that was 2020, have found my way back here at Outward Bound, working to help keep programs up and running, doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff to make sure that expeditions can still go out and can hopefully do so safely. And that's actually where I am right now, up here at the top of Table Rock Mountain in North Carolina. So not a bad place to work. So yeah, before the AT, I was working as a wilderness therapy guide in Western North Carolina. Absolutely loved that job. Basically taking at-risk youth, struggling with anything from drug and alcohol use, video game addiction, depression, suicidal ideation. Also had a lot of students that were on the autism spectrum. Taking them out of that toxic environment, showing them not only the nature skills, how to backpack, how to set up, camp, cook for themselves, all of that, but also getting to the root of, why they're having the issues they're having. A lot of times that comes down to the environment, communication breakdowns within the family unit, all of that. And so we had, licensed therapists come out to meet with them twice a week. We also had a lot of family therapy. So the same therapist would be meeting with the families of these kids. Obviously not with the families out in the woods. But yeah, I think it was super helpful, not only for the kids, obviously, but also for me to grow and mature, to get better at my soft skills of communicating, of having that emotional intelligence. And I think that's really sort of helped me through not only the AT, but also since then, especially when times were stressful this past year. I could probably do a whole video on wilderness therapy and what all it entails and stuff. So if you have specific questions on that, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to me on Instagram. I'm sure Frozen will give links and stuff. But yeah, that could be its whole own video.
Lucky?
Hello.
What have you been doing since summiting?
I tried to go to university.
How did that work out for you?
COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
Got a couple semesters in before COVID happened. Then in the middle of that, I got married.
To
the lovely Togs. And then from there, we we decided to escape America during COVID and go to Australia. And then midway through that decision, when we decided to go to Australia, we also found out, after we decided to go to Australia, that we were going to have little Teddy over here.
Cute. Very good.
Now here we are in Brisbane.
Future hiking plans.
There's some stuff down in Tasmania and potentially New Zealand while we're on this side of the world. When we go back, PCT would be number one. Hey Togs.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
What have you done since summiting Katahdin?
Same as you. The end.
Alrighty, Togs. Future hiking plans.
Everywhere and anywhere. All of them. Let's hike forever.
With Teddy on your front?
On my back.
Ah, good. Alrighty, Togs. Do you think that we're going to take the baby on a hike anytime soon?
I think so. We've already been on a few little hikes. So yes, we're still planning on doing the PCT at some point, and hopefully this little one will be in tow.
So we finished a good 2 weeks or so after everyone. We finished July 15th. So, and everyone else finished on July 4th. So we definitely went a little bit slower, but I think once we knew that there was no rejoining the group or no hope of us, having a good time and rejoining the group, we decided to take it easy. We kind of messed around like a few more days, like seeing stuff that we normally wouldn't have seen.
Teddy, you're eating Daddy's hand. Okay, question is, were we getting questions about whether we were in a trail ship and watching for Ozan's videos?
The answer is neither one of us really watched any of Frozen's videos until after we completed the hike. I think it wasn't until New York City on the way back down that we actually saw any of his videos. So unlike, I guess, most of his viewers, we didn't even know we were in a relationship until much later, when everyone else said, yeah, we totally knew.
How is the baby?
The baby's good. The baby is out and about.
Answer for yourself. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing really well. I'm out on my first trip to an island, a sand island. Look at the island. Look, there's ocean behind me. I saw my first kangaroo today. I've been hanging out, having a great time. What happened after everyone else in the group left?
Well, everybody left. We separated at Hiker's Welcome just before the Whites. We were both pretty sick. You were very sick at that point. And when we arrived at the hostel, the guys had come up with a very aggressive plan to go through the Whites, and we did not feel up to it. So we just made a very difficult decision to say, we didn't want to hold them back anymore, and we didn't want to feel the pressure to go that fast when we were really not feeling very well. So that's what happened. We left them there, and then we just carried on our own very slowly.
We summited together on July 3rd. 4 days after my summit, I ran a full-length marathon in Vermont. It was one of the hardest marathons in the country, I found out, of course, after the fact. But I came in 15th in my age group, and I finished strong, passed a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds, so that felt good. But I had, the mental fortitude and still the strength from the trail. So that's what I had left in my tank. When I summited Katahdin, I was pretty much done. The trail took a lot physically, but I rebounded pretty fast. It took me a few weeks to get feeling back in my feet. My chiropractor actually made some adjustments. I got feeling back, and I got some new toenails to replace some of the black ones, so that was good. I got right to it. I got all my gear cleaned and put away, so a little OCD about that. Future hiking plans, you're asking. So next Sunday, a week from today, I'll be on the Benton Mackay Trail with Farmer. RD's going to join us at one point, and then also Fresh Legs, who we met in the 100-mile wilderness in Maine. So, and we gave him the name Fresh Legs, and he continued on southbound, and he summited at Springer. So I'll get to hike with him again. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's kind of my March plan. In April, I want to feed hikers with fresh ground, so I'm going to catch up to our buddy Fresh Ground and do that. I'll be upstate New York in May. So at that time, I'm going to finish that 85 miles left of the long trail. I have the northernmost section to do. So I'm going to finish that, and then it's marked off the list. I'm good to go. And meanwhile, I'll probably hike some Catskill Peaks and Adirondack Peaks while I'm in New York, and that'll get me ready for the PCT, which I'll start July 1st at Harts Pass. By the time I get up to the northern terminus, touch it, it'll probably be my summit date for Katahdin on July 3rd. So I'll be heading south all the way to Mexico, about 2,653 miles thereabouts. Exciting. I'm trying to keep things interactive, so not only am I blogging for the trek, I'm going to be doing trail correspondence for thru. Thru is THRU-R, and it's going to be a podcast that's weekly out of California, and it's all about the PCT. It's on Spotify, iTunes, you name it, it's out there. So definitely check that out, and we're going to try to do something really interactive for my charity group, and that's Paws of War. That's service dogs for veterans, first responders, and law enforcement, and Denise and I have been very busy with that since I've come off trail. So you know, we're looking to do kind of like Where's Catmando in the theme of Where's Waldo. Keep it interactive. We're going to have prizes people can win, and you'll help support our Paws of War group. So look forward to that. Frozen, I'll have links for that, and you'll see that in my blogs and in the podcast. I'm the oldest. I got farmer by about 10 years, but really no long-term physical damage from the trail. Bounced back pretty good. Got rid of my hiker hobble, and I'm feeling really good. So, you know, I'm ready to go, ready to get out hiking. On my podcast with Mighty Blue, I commented about my routine for going to the bathroom. So for my cat holes, for Catman's cat holes. So I used a product that's like Metamucil. So it's a psyllium fiber. It's a fiber every day, about a tablespoon and a half. And what that allows me to do is just have a really clean bowel movement. And when I say clean, I mean like you wipe with toilet paper and you're like, did I even go? So that's why I only used a roll and a half. And the nice thing with that is you're not churning butter, you don't have monkey butt, it's nice and clean on the trail. I'm a regular guy, I always have been, but it's just a nice way to go. So it's a good strategy. I wrote about it in the trek called The Regular Guy. I'm Just a Regular Guy, a True Life Shit Story. So check that out, and it tells you more in detail about that. And just looking at your notes, that's pretty much everything that I've been up to, and Denise and I have been up to. Can't wait to get back on the trail. And if you guys haven't seen Journey of the Soul, the summary that Frozen did, you definitely got to check it out. So get outside, do some hiking, even if it's short term. There's no place like outside. Peace, everybody.
I got back home to Knoxville, and I got a job working as a barista at a coffee shop, and then I became an assistant manager at a coffee shop. Now I'm a general manager at a coffee shop. Bought a house with my wife, and then just been doing as much backpacking as possible. I hiked the Foothills Trail, the Art Loeb Trail, part of the Benton Mackay Trail, done a couple overnighters on the AT, and yeah, other than that, just working and trying to keep a house.
What are your future hiking plans?
Well, I hiked part of the BMT, only about 50 miles, so I want to finish that up, and I want to get more into fast packing or FKTs. So going to try to finish the BMT in about, I've got 250 miles about, going to try and finish that in a week, and then who knows, maybe an FKT attempt on the AT or another smaller trail, just to try and get my feet wet. And then of course overnighters with Ashley and other shorter trails.
For me, it was life-changing. Although Sue was a lot of fun to have for the few days that she was there as well.
So the best thing about me being in the Tramily was that you met Sue.
Pretty much.
Togs was just one of the group. I mean, she was one of the strongest hikers, so she made it challenging. She pushed people to be better, and yeah, it was awesome. We loved Togs. I think our Tramily would have been missing a piece if we hadn't had her.
Honestly, Togs was sort of just one of the guys to a certain extent. Still cracks jokes, still sort of goofed off and all of that, and especially because she was potentially the strongest hiker of the group. Didn't really do anything differently, might have curbed some conversations just because she was there, but I don't think many at all. She would probably have a similar opinion on that one.
It just felt normal. I mean, Togs was just one of the guys, and we joked. We didn't curve any conversations. We just treated her like, one of the guys. I don't know.
Hands down, Farmer.
I did walk out there, and then fucking clap of thunder rolled. I immediately came back down to the safety of these fucking...
The safe below tree line, right, yeah.
Right here.
Yeah,
Because they're going to protect the shit out of me.
He was absolutely hysterical, and I think he did it without even trying, which made it even better. But I miss Farmer being around, if nothing else, just because of the witty comments and commentary about the day.
Me.
I'd say Murica was probably the funniest.
Definitely Farmer. Yeah, you can't repeat his stories, but he was the funniest.
I think Murica was probably one of the funniest in the group, and then he was quickly replaced by Farmer. I mean, Farmer was on a level of his own. I'm not sure I could repeat most of the stories that he was saying, but we had some really, really good times with Farmer.
Yeah, probably Frozen, because he was always like very meticulous about his gear and about his camera stuff, and yeah.
Potentially Frozen, just because he was really picky about how his pack got packed, the weight of it. Same with sort of his hammock and tarp setup, really particular about doing that a certain way. But I think that just also comes with being really familiar with your systems. You sort of get that way.
Frozen.
And why?
It's so OCD.
Definitely Togs.
Hey, no, it wasn't. Why?
It goes into the next question.
Who was always in a hurry?
So that goes from the previous question, which was who's the most OCD? It was Togs. She was always up and out of camp before anyone else was even awake. Packed up, ready to go, eating her cold oatmeal and on her way.
Because I like to be first. Me. I've got no time for sleeping. Sleep when you're dead.
I don't think any of us were in a real hurry. RD maybe, but I think that's just because he was, again, a strong hiker. I think he just hiked really fast. I don't think anybody was in a hurry. We all just kind of took our time, did the exact miles that we wanted to do, didn't feel rushed in town or anything like that.
I don't know if any of us were really in a hurry. Yeah, all of us on trail had sort of our speed of getting ready in the morning. Obviously all hiked at different paces. And then even in towns, we never really hurried to get stuff done or felt rushed by anybody. So I don't know if anybody was always in a hurry.
I don't know. I guess you could say it was me, because I was always the one who hiked. I always tried to hike as fast and as hard as I could, just because that's what was fun for me. So I think some people thought I was always in a hurry, but yeah, I'm not really sure.
Last to get packed, that's definitely RD. Was always the last one out of bed, always the last one to pack up, and then typically the first one to the next camp, which got old after a little bit, but yeah, that's just his advantage of being a really strong, really fast hiker, is he can lay in bed a little bit longer than everybody else and it still work out.
I'm going to say RD. I reckon he faffed around a lot in the morning, which is annoying because he was the fastest, so he could faff around and then he still beat everybody in. I think Lucky wanted to be the last out, and if it was up to him, he would have been, but I was too busy chasing me.
Last to get packed was definitely Resident Daddy, RD. He would, I think he would just make it a game. He would just, you know, I was almost always the first one out of camp, I think, in the morning. And he would pass me at like 10 o'clock. I thought I had such a good head start on him, and then he would just walk by me like I was standing still.
No, that was always me. It was kind of fun. It became a game.
I feel like RD or I were probably the latest most of the time. And then I think when we split into two and it was me and Togs versus you guys, I think it was RD. And then I was definitely the last out of our side.
I'm not really sure. I felt like I was pretty hungry on the trail. Maybe Cat put some food down, for sure.
I mean, everyone's always hungry, especially towards the end, but Catmando would keep snacks in his sleeping bag with him at night so that when he got hungry in the middle of the night and woke up, he would have something to eat. So I'm gonna give it to Cat.
Ooh, Catmando was always eating.
Okay.
He was always hungry, get to town, and he'd order the biggest thing he could find.
I think Cat was the hungriest. Cat, Frozen ate quite a lot too. I don't know where he puts it, but and I was hungry a lot.
Would you do it again?
Hell no. Just kidding. Would you do it again?
Of course. Actually, I would like to change my answer. I would do exactly what I did the first time without any changes. But would I do the AT Nobo again? No, I would do a different trail. Maybe Sobo one day if I was on the cards after I'd done the Triple Crown. But definitely happy with the first run of the AT.
Oh, for sure. I would totally do it again. I think maybe I would go Sobo next time, get the hard stuff out of the way, and then have a joyride to Georgia. But, you know, I want to get some other trails in first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in a heartbeat. I remember telling Ashley, my wife, that if it wasn't for her, I'd turn around and I'd do it again right then and there. So, and who knows? Maybe I will do it again in the future.
I'm not sure. Maybe Togs? I don't know. I felt like I was the least experienced, to be honest with you. I was the slowest one.
Alrighty, Togs. Who had the least amount of hiking experience when they started at Springer?
Murica.
I honestly don't know. I think everyone had a good bit. Fro was doing all his hikes. Murica hikes for a living. Farmer has hiked a lot in his lifetime. Cat's always out and about in the Rockies and stuff. Togs, I don't know how many long hikes she's done. Probably her.
All right, guys, I just want to thank everyone for watching that. Hopefully that answered some of your questions. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. The Tramily had a lot of fun filming it. And if you have any additional comments for anybody, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. I'm sure the Tramily will be trolling the comments at some point on this video. Anyway, I think Murica probably said it the best, so I'm gonna let him close this one out. Go ahead, buddy.
Really appreciate the questions, appreciate the interest in how the Tramily is doing. You know, it's nice to, you know, that people care to, you know, sort of catch up and follow us. So thanks for following along. If you have any more questions about the Tramily, be sure to pass those along to Frozen. We still keep in touch, you know, at least weekly at this point. So yeah, appreciate it, and catch you next time.